What's going on, YouTube? It's Cody with Internal Outlet. I know I haven't been so active as far as putting out content. I kind of went through a drought for a while. I was just dealing with my own personal stuff because, I mean, that's what this whole channel is about is, this is your internal outlet. Being able to talk, freely to me, to other members of my community and whatnot about maybe some personal issues if you're comfortable with it. I'm going to ask one thing of you guys. Give me suggestions for content. I have a lot of things I can talk about, and I don't mind talking about any topic, really, controversial or not. Just keep in mind that a lot of these are my opinions. I don't mind doing research for stuff. That's never bothered me as far as doing research. I like doing research. But I need to know what you guys want to hear me talk about, more or less. But today's topic, I'm going to talk a little bit about depression. And one of the big key reasons why I'm going to talk about depression is because of the fact that I've been coming across a lot of it recently. People that are dealing with depression, people that are dealing with anxiety, stuff like that. Among myself, also, dealing with my own internal struggles and things along that nature. We go through our lives day in and day out. It seems like almost trying to ignore feelings and thought processes, especially as men. A lot of the things we're taught in society as far as being men is that we have to be strong-willed, we have to be solemn, we have to be quiet, we have to just suck it up, deal with it. And I mean, we are in a new age of people now. We oftentimes see memes where people are saying, people are too easily offended in today's day and age, and I agree. I agree that people are getting easily offended because they're not willing to look at the internal problems that are in themselves, so they look outward. And when they look at outward, they want to sit there and rag on the people that are finally opening up their mouths and saying, "Look, dude, I'm dealing with some nasty crap right now," and these other people are like, "Oh, well, you're showing your feelings, so you're wrong," and that's not right. I'm not a staple of a perfect marriage. I'm not a staple of a perfect lifestyle. I'm not a staple of any of that crap. I said, but what I am a staple of is being honest, telling the truth, and telling it how it is. And the fact of the matter is, and what people don't realize, and what society is not realizing, is that everybody has a voice. Prime example of this going on right now, I'm going to bring up a very controversial topic. Medicinal marijuana in Utah. Here's a big one. And prime case in point as far as people not having a voice. I live in Utah, and there's been a big fight over medicinal marijuana in Utah. We had Proposition 2 go out forward, and 55%, a majority voted for Proposition 2, saying that yes, we want legalized cannabis, we want these products available for those who need them, things along those lines. And we got Proposition 2 for 3 days, and then the other party, the Senate of Utah, decided to hold a special session, charging our tax dollars to a special session and they changed the entire proposition. They wiped it clean. They turned a 27-page or 26-page document just base leveling cannabis and turned it into something like a couple hundred pages, saying that, cannabis had to be put in blister packs and stuff like that. Now, I'm not going to get into my personal feelings as far as marijuana is concerned, but I am going to say that that's a prime example of people trying to have a voice and other people stepping on their toes. And that's one thing I definitely won't handle in this channel. If somebody is venting and somebody wants me to talk about a topic, you start causing fits, causing problems, I'm probably going to get rid of you. This is a very accepting place. So when it comes to depression, a lot of times we tend to bottle that crap up, and it hurts. And it's not a physical pain, it's an emotional pain. And whether you like to think that it's being pushed onto others or not, it is. Because not only do you as a person, when you're dealing with depression and anxieties and problems like that, not only do you start clamming up internally, you kind of start doing it outside too. You don't have, I'm going to put it this way, the testicular fortitude when I'm talking to men, um, or the audacity as women to open up and say what's going on. One of the things I've learned in life, especially being married to my wife, we've been married for 3 years, been together for 4, and have 2 kids. Yeah, we have our problems, but one of the things that saves our asses on a day to day basis is the fact that we're able to talk to each other. Yeah, sometimes I might yell, sometimes I might scream, and God bless my wife because she's not a yeller or a screamer. Um, she kind of takes it and she'll give me my space, allow me to process it, and we can sit down and we can talk about it. Because a lot of times when you're pushing out external anger, hate, frustration toward your partner, your loved ones, your mom, your dad, your friends, your family, I don't know if you guys have ever heard the saying, we're more prone to hurting those that we love. And the reason being why we're so willing to hurt the people that we love is because they're easy targets. Instead of looking at the people you love as an easy target for anger and frustration, look at those individuals as a target for your communication so you can talk to them about what's pestering you, what's bothering you on the inside. I'll share a little bit about myself. I don't mind. Uh, I deal with depression because I was an only child growing up, and I didn't have any brothers or sisters to count on. And I was moved back and forth between my mom and my dad so frequently that I would make friends just as fast as I'd lose friends, and that was about as frequently as I'd change my underwear. As sad as that is to say, I mean, I literally remember going to 4 different schools in one school year, and two of those schools that same school year was the same school. So I was the new kid to the same school twice. It made it really hard. Another prime example for me is I was about 12 years old, normal time frame for dating to start happening, and not in the context of like groping and all that stuff, but as far as like girl boy interaction, group dating, stuff like that, so you can start getting initiated into the normal context of relationships and stuff like that. My first girl that I chased after, I won't give you a name, but I had asked her, "Hey, do you want to start dating? Do you want to be my girlfriend, more or less?" And her legitimate answer, which I'm not mad at to this day, was, "I'm sorry, I can't." And the reason being is because I don't know if you're going to be here next week. I don't know if you're going to be here tomorrow. I don't know if you're going to be here a month from now. And, for that context of my life, that was true. That was very true. I was moving too frequently for me to even have a girlfriend, just and it's a middle school girlfriend. It's not even something that's going to last for an eternity. I mean, kudos to all you people out there that have uh, your high school sweetheart and stuff, but for most people, that doesn't happen, you know. But to be turned down like that, it kind of hit me hard, because it was the truth. And it wasn't something that me personally, I had any control over. It was something my parents had control over. So, and don't think that my YouTube channel here is me complaining about my past or anything like that, because if anything, I'm happy that I lived the life that I did because and lived the life that I do, because it teaches me lessons along the way that maybe I can branch off to you guys. So depression, man. Um, it's one of those feelings that it never goes away. And for all you people out there that are conquering depression and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure you can attest to me that the number one biggest thing you hate hearing is just get over it. Because believe me, if we could just get over our depressions, if we could just get over our anxieties, we'd have done that crap a long time ago. We would have tossed them to the side and lived a life like everybody else. So, what do people with depression typically do? Well, we become introverted, number one. We'll find an outlet, whether it's YouTube like this, or we'll find an outlet like video games or comic books or movies or something along those lines that will help us escape the reality of normal. And normal to one person may not be normal to another, but it helps us escape what we know as our normal. And a lot of times when it comes to depression, our normal hurts. Our normal tears us apart on the inside, and in a lot of cases, it can scare the hell out of you. I've had my depression scare me so bad, I've had panic attacks. I've had my depression scare me so bad, I've had anxiety attacks, not being able to sleep, not being able to typically function as a normal human being, which is hard in and of itself. Or to be able to look at life from the perspective of, I lived this life, but channeling your life into something else because it helps you escape the reality of norm. So, when it comes to depression, the only thing I can really say that really hits hard, and I'm sorry this isn't a very, very meaty video, it's just kind of thoughts off the top of my head. And yes, I'm using my phone for all of this because I think my phone has better quality than actually my TV camera or my computer camera does. So you guys are probably going to get videos like this for a little while. And I kind of like this because it lets me be raw. It lets my thoughts just come out and I can just spit it out, put it on YouTube, and you guys can watch it and see what I'm thinking about. And you guys can interact a little bit faster too. So I apologize for it not being a very meaty video, but I hope that, at least my point got across that, when it comes to depression, for you guys that suffer from that, and I use the term suffer as on purpose because depression is a suffering tone for life. Sometimes you have a hard time looking at perspective of life when you're depressed, when you're dealing with stuff, but I hope that you learn, or at least hear, that instead of bottling it up, target a friend, whether it's an online friend that you play games with, whether it's your best friend that lives down the street, your wife, your significant other, or anything like that. Target that individual, not with your aggression, but with your words, to talk to them about what's bothering you. They may not be able to help you, but you might feel a little bit of weight lifted off your shoulders in knowing that at least somebody knows what you're going through. They may not understand it. And that's one of the things that we all need to look at is sometimes we just don't understand what somebody else is going through, but we can empathize with it. I'm not very big on empathizing typically, but I've learned over the course of time to empathize with those that kind of deal with the same issues I do in a similar context. Not every soldier that comes out of the Army is going to come out with post-traumatic stress. Not every soldier that comes out of the Army is going to have back problems, going to have knee problems, going to have hip problems. Not every person that deals with life and deals with loneliness is going to come out with depression. And I get that. A prime example, my dad dealt with a really rough childhood. And he's not the easiest person to talk to when it comes to mental health issues or problems that I might be dealing with. But I've learned that sometimes, even though he may not understand, I need to just let him know. And I will cover another video on how to handle people like that, because I know it can be hard, especially as somebody with depression or anxieties or other problems, to tackle people like that. And the best way to do so, just for a blanket note, is to be direct. If you're starting to get the response that you don't like, you need to start telling that person that you're getting the response that you don't like, and they're not responding to it the way that they should be responding to it. If it's a mom or a dad, they see you in a different kind of light. They see you as somebody different. A lot of times when it comes to moms and dads, they think of you as their baby. And to hear that their baby's got problems, a lot of times they don't want to accept that. And that's time frame for you as a man or you as a woman to step forward and say, you know what, quit looking at me as your daughter, quit looking at me as your son for a minute, and look at me as a grown-ass adult dealing with these problems. Or even if you're not an adult, look at me as a person. You know, just for a minute, step outside of those mom shoes, step outside of those dad shoes, step outside of those wife shoes, and look at the individual as a person and a friend. And on that note, I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys. I hope to hear back from a lot of you that have started watching my YouTube channel and stuff like that. I'm sorry my content's not been consistent, and it's only because of the fact that I didn't feel like I had an audience, really. Now I know that I'm starting to get an influx of viewers and stuff like that. And thanks, guys, that I game with that are actually jumping over and watching this stuff. I hope it helps. I'm not going to toss out any names, and it's just because of the fact that I want your guys' identities to stay you, you know. If you guys want to chime up in my comments, write a comment below. Tell me what you guys want to hear about. Tell me what you want my perspective of, and I will make that video. Chances are I'll make it the same day. That way you can get your immediate feedback. Anyways, I got to get down to my kids if you couldn't hear my kids screaming. I love you all. I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. I hope that your holiday season went well. If you like my comment, hit that like button. If you want to see more, subscribe. Make sure you get those notifications every time I put them in. And have a good holiday. Have a good day.